In a forgotten corner of the old town of Umuez, beyond the whispering trees and misty paths, lies a cemetery untouched by time. They say when the moon is full, shadows dance among the graves, and if you listen closely, you can hear laughter. This is no ordinary laughter. It belongs to two souls whose love defied the line between the living and the dead. Tonight, under the gaze of the moon, I'll tell you the story of a wealthy visitor and an ethereal mourner, whose hearts met in a place where love was never meant to bloom. This is the cemetery's hidden love story. Every night, at exactly midnight, a man named Lord Ekene visited the town's old cemetery. He was a man of great wealth, owner of lands, factories, and gold mines, yet he carried a sadness money could not heal. He always came dressed in fine coats and leather gloves, carrying a white rose in one hand and a silver lantern in the other. He would kneel before a gravestone marked Adana Obianwu, beloved wife, gone too soon. 3 years had passed since she died, and still he came. The townsfolk called him the Mad Lord of Midnight, but he didn't care. For him, the cemetery was the only place he still felt close to love. One cold night, as he placed the rose on her grave, a faint sound caught his ear, the sound of soft weeping. He turned his lantern toward the sound and saw a woman kneeling before another grave, her dress as white as mist, her veil flowing like smoke. She was beautiful, but not in a worldly way. Her skin glowed faintly under the moonlight, her eyes deep and sad, as if holding centuries of sorrow. Ekene approached gently. "Forgive me," he said softly. "I did not mean to intrude." The woman turned, her voice barely a whisper. "No one intrudes on sorrow. It welcomes anyone who knows it. Her name," she said, "was Neoma. She came to mourn her lover, a poor musician who once promised to return after seeking fortune, but never did." Her story pierced Ekene's heart, for he too knew what it meant to wait in vain. Night after night, he found himself returning, not just to his wife's grave, but to Neoma's side. They talked about love, loss, and what it meant to remember someone long after the world had forgotten them. Weeks passed, and the townsfolk whispered again. The caretaker claimed he saw 2 lanterns glowing each midnight, one golden, one silver, moving side by side among the graves. One evening, a storm broke out. Rain poured like tears from heaven. Ekene rushed to the cemetery, fearing Neoma might be caught in the storm. He found her standing before the grave of her lost lover. But something felt different. Her face shimmered, almost transparent under the lightning. "Neoma," he called out. She turned, tears mixing with the rain. "You shouldn't have come," she said. "This is not my night to be seen." Her voice echoed like it came from another realm. And then he looked down at the grave she was weeping over. The name carved into it was Neoma Nwachukwu, 1832 to 1851. She wasn't of his time. She wasn't alive. Ekene froze, disbelief in his eyes. "You're a spirit?" he whispered. She nodded slowly. "My love died before he could return. I came every night, waiting for his soul. But the years passed, and he never come back. So I remained, trapped between love and loss." Ekene fell to his knees. "Then we are the same," he said. "You waited for love to return. I waited for love that would never come back." She looked at him, truly looked, and for a moment the worlds of the living and the dead felt like one. That night they made a promise to meet again every full moon and share their grief until love no longer hurt. And so they did. Every month, under the pale glow of the moon, the wealthy man and the ghostly mourner met by their graves, laughing softly, weeping sometimes, finding peace in each other's company. 1 year later, on the anniversary of his wife's death, Ekene arrived earlier than usual, but this time something was different. He carried 2 long white roses. He placed one on his wife's grave and the other on Neoma's. He whispered, "If love could choose again, I'd find you sooner." That night, the storm returned, the same way it did the night he discovered her secret. Lightning flashed across the sky, and by morning, the townsfolk found his lantern still burning beside Neoma's grave. His body was cold, peaceful, as if sleeping beside her, and on the stone 2 faint handprints were left, one human, one ghostly. Since that night, when the moon is full, 2 glowing lights still drift through the cemetery, and if you listen closely, you might hear them laugh, softly, together. They say love can conquer time, wealth, even death itself. And perhaps, in the quiet of the cemetery, where hearts rest and memories linger, 2 lonely souls finally found what they were searching for, not in life, but beyond it. That was the cemetery's hidden love story, a reminder that love is never truly buried.